guys, it's me, Mo Malele again. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope that the new year is treating you well and the month of love is giving you nothing more than hugs, kisses, XOXO. But anyways, let's get into this week's topic. This week's topic is dealing with varsity life and life in university and how to navigate the journey and the waters that is varsity life. I'll be brief because as the year goes on, we'll be talking in more detail about a lot of these topics. But I just want to give you five, top points or pointers rather from my experience that really helped me navigate my varsity career, and things that I've, looking back on and reflected on, I've learned a lot from my varsity time. And these are the 5 things that I want to advise you guys on as you navigate your varsity life. The first one is enjoy the journey. Enjoy the varsity life that you have. You are blessed, you are privileged to be able to be in university, whether you're doing it through a loan or a scholarship or a bursary or your parents are paying for you. Whichever way you're able to do it, understand that you are blessed and privileged to have the opportunity to go to university and further your education. So enjoy it, treat it like a blessing, treat it like an opportunity, and have fun with it. You only are in first year once. You only are in university for the first time once. And you only graduate for the first time once. So why not grab the whole experience by the scruff of the neck and really have fun with it? Enjoy the journey, because remember, your varsity career has a beginning and an ending. And that's what so really knuckle in and enjoy the time that you have there. Enjoy meeting new people, joining new clubs, learning new skills. When I think about my varsity career, and people ask me, what is the one time in life that if you could go back to, you would go back to, because it was just so much fun and you learned so much and you lived so well? I always say it would be my university life, because that was probably like it was my favorite era or chunk of time. I'd go back to my university career. I had such an amazing time at UCT in the 5 years that I was there. So enjoy it, enjoy it. Number 2, don't get carried away with things that aren't core business. And I'm using a business analogy to make this point, because as an entrepreneur, we always think about what is core business when we are evaluating new opportunities or building new divisions or doing new things in the business. We always think, what is core business? And we must never forget that the core business is our business model. It's the most important thing. It's why the business is around. It's why we're able to feed our families. It's why we make money. It's why we're here, for the core. So don't get carried away with things that aren't the primary activity for why you are at university. You are there to study, to learn, to grow, and then eventually to graduate so you can get a job or be an entrepreneur and start your own business and create jobs for other people. So don't get carried away with things that deter you from that goal. And don't get me wrong, this is not to say that you shouldn't have extramural activities, you shouldn't be involved with your community or involved in sports and the like. But it is to say that do not let all these secondary and tertiary activities distract you from acing your number 1 goal, which is getting out of university with a degree. Number 3 is that nothing is ever really the end of the world. Except obviously for the end of the world, like, Armageddon, a nuclear explosion, some sort of like nuclear war. I don't know. That stuff is the end of the world. But nothing that you're going through is actually genuinely the end of the world. I know it feels that way. It may look that way when you're in the middle of, your valley and you've hit rock bottom and you don't see a way out of the tunnel. You don't see any sunlight, out of the darkness, and you're thinking this is the worst that could happen. It's the end of my life. It's the end of the world. No, it's not. Nothing ever really is the end of the world. And I'm saying this right now at the beginning of the year because I know for a fact you're going to get into those valleys. You are going to hit rock bottom, or you're going to hit very close to rock bottom. You're going to be faced with trials and tribulations throughout the year. And I want you to remember this, that nothing is as bad as you think it really is. And I want you to try something that has worked really well for me, and advise people to do this. I've given my sister, my younger sister, this advice throughout her university career, that think about what is the worst that could possibly happen. What is the worst thing that can possibly happen? Think about that. Be like, if I fail this test, what is the worst thing that could possibly happen? and then think about that and be like, okay, this is it. This is the worst thing that can possibly happen. Then think about that and be like, well, is this the end of the world? No. Well, I mean, like, let's do it now. What? So you fail a test, you fail an exam. What's the worst that can happen? You repeat the course, and your bursary maybe doesn't, fund the repeat course. Fine. Then you find other ways to fund it, and you repeat the course, then you pass it. That's the worst that could possibly happen. The fact I'm trying to get to you guys that you still are going to be alive. You will still have your brain. You will still, have your life and the ability to take in knowledge and to take a second shot or a second bite at the cherry. You will still, have your life with you. You will still have your mental faculties intact. You will still have friends and family supporting you. You still have your life. You still have an ability to write your story, to rewrite your narrative. So just always remember that nothing is truly the end of the world. It's not as bad as you think it is. It can and will get better. Number 4, always be open to new experiences. This is one that's very close to my heart because the journey that my life has taken and the things that I get to do, the projects I get to be involved in, the people I get to meet, the things I get to see, the joy that I take from life is purely because I live this philosophy of always be open to new experiences. No matter what you may think of it going into it, always be open to new experiences with your arms and your hands wide open, your heart open to receive what the world has in store for you and what life has to offer you. Always be open to new experiences because you don't know what you don't know, and the things that you are afraid to try or the things that you don't think you're worthy of trying, those actually might be the things that change your life and the lives of those around you for the better. So please guys, always be open to new experiences. Number 5 is that you should always have a contingency. Now, I know this might sound contradictory to some of the advice you might be getting out there from motivational speakers and, your tutors or your mentors and so on and so forth. I know that Will Smith is not a big fan of having contingencies or plan B's and C's and D's because in his view they distract from plan A and winning with plan A. I have a different perspective, which is that you should always have a plan B, a plan C, D, E, F, as many plausible and possible plans that you can manage to mitigate any risks that come from plan A. And that's not to say that you should take time away from achieving the plan A and winning with plan A, but it is to say that you should know that if plan A doesn't work, you have contingencies, you've got nets that will catch you. You have nets that will catch you as you fall. And if plan A doesn't work, plan B will catch you as a net. If plan B doesn't quite work, you have plan C as your net. Sometimes you enter into a situation and you can have a plethora, a vast number of plans, contingencies, because the situation allows for that. And then sometimes all you have is plan A and plan B. But seriously, my advice to you is always have a contingency. And I use this example specifically when you're going into tests and exams. Always know how much you need to get out of the test or how much you need to get out of the exam in order to progress with the course. Always be aware of your continuous assessment and what the percentages are and what the permutations of those percentages are for your overall success. Always have a contingency. If the first major doesn't work, have another major that you're eyeing that you know that you will qualify for. If this one course isn't working, have another course that you know would give you the credits or would buy you enough time to be able to come back and get those credits. You need to have contingencies because nothing is ever going to work with just one plan. I repeat, there's nothing in life that you're going to do, or rather let me put it this way, you cannot go through life and think that you'll be successful if you just have one route or one plan. You need contingencies because with everything that we do there's a risk, and contingencies and having different plans along the way mitigate for the different risks that you will face in life. So yeah guys, those are the tips that I have in terms of dealing with university life. Like I said, it's a very broad advice. It's a very broad way of looking at things. We will definitely be going into more detail and in-depth discussions about all of these topics throughout the year, so you guys get a better understanding of the different things that I'm talking about, and how to implement and execute those things in your life and in your varsity career for the success of it. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Please let me know what your comments are. If you have any questions, please like, share, subscribe to my channels, subscribe to all my platforms, and we'll check you guys later. Thank you very much. Cheers.